Hello everybody, Mother, and we are back with Katawa Shoujo Act 1, Part 3. Let's continue. I should out before I even realized it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes they still look and the same. Still look one and the same. Okay. It's the first real look I get at the other students. So I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they are going. And I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? Dot dot dot. I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh, cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell fills no void because I haven't seen outside at all. We've been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. Takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. Poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching their television. One nods and gives me a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. Climb to the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seem to have a toilet, a shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates on the room adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello, is anyone home? From inside I hear a few movements, then the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He's looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hiseo Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. Okay. Oh, sup dude, name's Kenji. Ah, hi. Take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. There was some suspicious looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Cause they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out of place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, he says. Me, I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you are smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again. I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind, it doesn't matter. With that, he fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi Hishan, we've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if they don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. Kind of hoped I would've. Then there would be something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming and for the entire day today too. I still am, I think. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow so it won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, the bottles of medications neatly arranged on the night table to catch my eye. I pick one up and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside. Then I read the glued on pharmacy label. Nakai. 2 tablets daily to stay alive. Doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kinda twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. ... I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon, the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling look like every ceiling does at night, and it only becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. Nerd. Wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light grey ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that indeed it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from the foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like I'm dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic I'll be right back. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose. The feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. Whoops. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Michi's constant laughter and Shaijun's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. Or through class. The question remains on my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. ... She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied while trying to grind the razor of a pencil down, so that the top is perfect and evenly flat. ... Ahaha. Sorry, Shishan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hishan. My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please don't prove me right. ... Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do, because there isn't... Why do we keep doing that? To do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it doing whatever. So, you actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. Wow, I don't know, Hishan. The truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so. She starts sounding desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts sounding hard and heavy. ... Huh? Or who cares? Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts. Shizune's words at me with a disappropriate amount of pride. Too loud, I can see heads turning to look in our direction. Not so loud. ... Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. ... Now, it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes. Ha 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 ha. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, although brushing it off without a care. ... We are in the middle of class and should start working. That's right, Shishan. What? That's right, Hishan. Are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think after a suspicious glance exchanged between them, Mitch's tone has also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other. Again, I'm about to ask what I have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see that girl with long dark hair get up from her desk and slips silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl go. Why doesn't he say anything? Hishan, is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me, looking after the girl who left? No, nothing. ... Okay, well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. ... Yay! Wow! Okay, Hishan, perfect. Boom. The rest of class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never comes back. Before I have the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all our work on time. I'm glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. ... Yes, it is, Hishan. Impossible. Really? Really? I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know whom I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that night, be wrong there. I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing. But really, Shizune can't hear me, but it will be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing, and will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest because contests are competitions or a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with her competitive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's surely an alluring gaze. ... Are you sure, Hishan? Very sure. ... Ha ha ha, you're wrong, Hishan. Because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Wahaha! Shizune pushes the glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings, and she quickly gets up, picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. I had almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. ... Where do you want to eat? The cafeteria? Ha ha, that's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain? Well, I guess. At my old school, I liked to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there is a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. So, Hishan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right? ... Right, Hishan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. Hishan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I didn't follow teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There is a book club, right, Shishan? Right, but it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hishan. It's a really popular club. Ah, okay. But more to the point, Hishan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. ... Good, great. That's great, Hishan. Really great. Ha ha ha, wahahaha. Why is it so great? No reason. Well, Hishan, then clubs and the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student council. I see. I didn't know this school had a student council. That was very melodramatic setup. Though just to tell me that, I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because Shizune is a little embarrassed about it and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion. In a manner of speaking, after all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says. Dot dot dot. Ha ha ha. Right. Ishan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one, we could hang out every day, Hishan. Hishan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Hishan is the president. I'm starting to get suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased person to talk about this with. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Dot dot dot. Ha ha ha. Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to. So you're admitting that. Dot dot dot. No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hishan, of course, it would be nice if you joined, and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one school. Yup, that's true, Hishan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hishan? I can't tell if she is being genuine or if this is just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they're already pretty cute to begin with. Well, dot dot dot. So it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hishan. What? No. See, Hishan. Of course it wouldn't go so easily. Dot dot dot. Yup, that's right. Though it would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well. Hishan owes me candy now. You were betting on that? Hey, my life is not a game here. Shizune seems intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. Dot dot dot. Wow, that's interesting. Hishan, let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hishan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Aw, why not? Well, because you two both have the same incentive, and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Dot dot dot. Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal. But what this means is that both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I'll have to decline. Dot dot dot. Hishan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us and that we pull something so this damn it! Come on, this in Gen U owls. That makes me sad. Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune influence ends and Misha thoughts begin. Dot dot dot. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No! How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle and then you try to shoot it past goalpost that the other player makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hishin. Dot dot dot. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Hishin. Wahaha. That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not damn it, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know, and it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Ha ha ha. That's true. How did you know, Hishan? Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Dot dot dot. Okay, Hishin, how about Risk, the game of world domination? I don't know what that is. It's really fun, Hishin. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune will be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Dot dot dot. Oh really, Hishin? We can play just for fun, Hishan. Hishan hasn't played in a long time. So, if you want to, there are no strings attached. Well, okay. Okay, perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hishan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. Wahahaha. I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for sure than anything. So in the end I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering every flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past, that they're on their guard. Whilst with the escort, it doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell. Wahahaha, what's wrong, Hishin? Dot dot dot. That's right, we're just going to play a game of Risk, remember? I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play the game, they will tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as steep as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. Dot dot dot. That's not true, Hishan. Hishan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging. Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face that pulls her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha finds deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that! I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it is quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side, as well as extras perhaps. Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else, in fact, nothing else. There is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something, but the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? ... No. What do you mean no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? ... Yeah, that's right. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. ... Hishan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Ha ha ha, okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started, with a decisive motion slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I tended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. ... Shishan wants to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Shishan also says that she'll let you keep a straight, so if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no! ... Shishan admires your fighting spirit and will be benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. Ha 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 ha! You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. She doesn't seem to know what that word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her fingers against her temples as she is trying to physically imprint the words into her memory. ... Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a furor of gestures. Misha looked daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Oh wait, please slow down, Shishan. Shishan says you're going to lose. Tell her I'll crush her world empire with my rebellion. Ah, okay. Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. Dot dot dot. She says, you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. I tried this one, I'm gonna try this one. She's rather really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose, so I might as well try something different. Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can recoup the advantage. Shizune seems to focus on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. Dot dot dot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. Dot dot dot. I win, yay! There's no need to translate that, it was pretty clear. Wow! Don't look so sad, Hishan. You were really giving it your best, that's what I thought. Sometimes your best isn't good enough, though. If anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. Dot dot dot. Hishan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. It's a very daring move. Hishan is impressed. Dot dot dot. The mark of great people is that they are daring and that they can follow through. You're already halfway there. Isn't that great, Hishan? Dot dot dot. That isn't enough though. Just potential isn't enough. There's no point to potential if you don't take the first step, and there's no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. You're right, Hishan, but that's so demanding. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Shizune leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful, more like the serious person I expected her to be from the start. Dot dot dot. Hishan, would you like to join the student council? She doesn't. Damn it. She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. But spending time with Shizune and Misha doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe I'll get back to you on it. Dot dot dot. Okay, Shin, but I hope you're not just saying that so you don't feel bad. No, really. Really? Hishan, if you're going to say that, you're saying that is definitely the truth and there can't be any mistaking it. I know. I guess I should have had my revenge for losing, at the very least. Chizune smells at that in a mischievous way that feels like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. I glance at the clock on the wall and realize I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. Dot dot dot. It should be unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shishan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want to show us where is it? No thanks. It's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, just bye bye. One flight of stairs up, and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor. third floor 1. Gonna end this here in a few minutes. Wired, of course, I'm playing like only hallways can be. Problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. Well, guys, it's time to wrap up this episode and I'll come back tomorrow. And I don't know how long I've been recording, so that's, okay. We're playing for an hour and 40. This let's play should be at the very end because, as I said, it's 2 hours and 50 minutes, I think. So, don't mind me, I'm just gonna save this here. Create. Yep. Return. Bye!